Good afternoon, faculty member and my fellow colleagues. Myself, Dr. Subham Gupta, postgraduate student, posted in the Department of Prosthodontics and Crown and Bridge in Shri Guru Ramdas Institute of Dental Sciences and Research, Shri Amritsar. Hereby presenting my video on fabrication of a closed hollow bulb obturator using lost wax technique. According to Glossary of Prosthodontics term, an obturator is defined as a maxillofacial prosthesis used to close a congenital or acquired defect primarily in the hard palate. Since the weight of an obturator is the main disadvantage that results in the dislodgement of the prosthesis, so reduction in the weight of the obturator should be done by hollowing the prosthesis. Hollowing can be either open or closed. In this video, I am explaining the procedure for the fabrication of a closed hollow bulb obturator. Armamentarium required.
Firstly, we need a maxillary cast with an intraoral defect poured in a dental stone. Then we need a modeling wax, 21 number stainless steel wire, Adam's pliers, blowtorch, chip blower, lighter, a paintbrush, carver, cold mold seal, wax knife, wax spatula, mixing spatula, salt, cellophane sheet, a brass metal flask, a rubber bowl with type 2 gypsum material, a porcelain jar, a polyvinyl siloxane impression material, heat cure powder, heat cure liquid. Undercut is blocked from the cast with the help of type 2 gypsum material, and for the retention of the hollow bulb closed obturator, a clasp is made around the tooth with the help of 21 gauge stainless steel wire and Adam's plier. A wire bending is performed and a C-clasp is made nearby the adjacent area, and the clasp is properly adapted around the tooth. After the adaptation, the clasp is stapled with modeling wax. A sheet of modeling wax is heated and adapted around the cast so that a proper thickness of 2 mm should be there on the cast. A wax is then smoothed gently and proper carving and contouring of the wax is done. Then type 2 gypsum impression material is mixed and poured in the upper compartment of the brass metal flask, and it is properly seated. Then it is smoothed to prevent the formation of undercut and allowed for setting. After setting, a cold mold seal is applied on the plaster and set for drying. After drying of the cold mold seal, the polyvinyl siloxane elastomeric impression material of putty consistency is mixed and adapted properly, covering the wax portion of the cast, and it is allowed to set. Then, with the help of the carver, retention groove is made on the putty, and then impression plaster is poured and the flask is closed and dewaxing is done. After dewaxing, cold mold seal is applied except the putty portion and allowed to dry. After drying, heat cure resin was pressed to place in the bottom of the defect. Cellophane sheet is placed and flask is closed and kept for processing. Then again flask is opened and cellophane sheet is removed. The putty portion of the bulb is cut with the help of the Bud Parker blade. Salt is placed in the defect and packed with heat cure resin, and flask is closed and curing is done. After curing, the flask is opened. processed prosthesis was deflashed and finishing and polishing of the prosthesis was done. Then, and using interdental burr, a hole was drilled in the prosthesis so that we can remove the salt. Is closed using self-cure resin. The finished prosthesis is placed in the rubber bowl containing water. If the prosthesis starts floating in the water, then this represents successful fabrication of the prosthesis.
Prosthetic rehabilitation of the patient with intraoral defect is the most difficult task. For the success of an obturator, the design and fabrication of the bulb portion is the most demanding task. To reduce the weight, hollowing out of the bulb prosthesis should be done. At last, I am concluded that the reduction of the weight of the prosthesis helps in the retention, stability, and support of the obturator.